Maori history, Chinese whispers on steroids. Maori history is word of mouth passed down through the generations like Chinese whispers. Here's what Maori say about their ocean-going canoes they used to sail across the Pacific Ocean and ultimately discover New Zealand. Maori say that their Waka, Hurua were marvels of skilled craftsmanship, built almost entirely from natural materials and ancestral know-how. Builders chose large, straight totara or kauri logs for their lightness, buoyancy and rot resistance. The log was felled with stone axes, the centre burnt out and chopped or azed away to form the basic hull shell. The canoes were constructed using lashings of strong fibres, allowing the Waka to flex and absorb the pressure of heavy seas. The hulls were shaped to minimise drag and maximise stability in the water. Waka Hurua were large double-hulled canoes, essentially two canoes lashed together with a platform in between, used for migration and long voyages across the Pacific. They were specifically designed for stability and carrying capacity to allow the transportation of large numbers of people and supplies. The central platform served as a base for storage and a space for the crew and passengers. The double-hulled canoes were equipped with two masts and sails which were crafted from flax and designed to catch the wind effectively for long-distance voyaging. The design of the Waka and its sails allowed for efficient navigation and efficient use of the wind. The Waka Hurua typically carried between 20 and 80 people, including crew, passengers and provisions. In summary then, Maori word-of-mouth history dictates, which by the way is also taught in schools and universities, the early Maori explorers were brilliant navigating seafarers and also skilled craftsmen, engineering builders. I suggest this oral history of Maori's highly skilled arrival into New Zealand is pure fantasy and more akin to Chinese whispers on steroids or Takanga mythology gone totally haywire. An earlier video, links in the description, showed that skilled Chinese seafarers eventually progressed to land on the moon, but so-called skilled Maori seafarers have only managed to land in jail. Clue 1. Historical Chinese achievements are well documented, but Maori achievement, sadly, are typically word of mouth, not too hard to guesstimate the rest. That leaves another glaring question. How did Maori's word-of-mouth craftsman, engineering and building skills work out for them after arriving in New Zealand with their supposedly specially designed ocean-going canoes, their Waka Hurua? A documented account of Maori housing prior to colonisation in 1840 follows. Back in the day, housing would be best described as uncomfortable huts, about 12 foot long and up to around 5 foot high, with doorways typically so small people had to crawl through them. The native hut lacked a chimney and ventilation for fires that were sometimes lit inside to keep warm in cold weather. Windows were never thought of and many huts were infested with vermin. The floors were covered with dry grass and flax leaf, split into shreds and plated. Other than mats, the people had no furniture. The huts were wretched in appearance, poorly constructed from sticks and reeds interwoven with each other with little regard for protection against the weather. They had the appearance of bird cages or rabbit hutches, with weeds of every type growing surrounding the complete hut. No native could go to bed without fearing that he or she might be attacked during the night and may be killed and eaten by a stronger tribe. It was the introduction of British law in 1840 that put an end to such fears. According to Chinese whispers, oral history being passed down the line for years, Maori were master builders and master craftsmen, so once again something's not right, with such fairy tales being more like Easter Bunny, Santa Claus stuff, or Takana mythology for short. What happened to Maori's craftsmen building skills? Where did their skills go? And I repeat the question again, why did Maori choose brutal, violent savagery and cannibalism over skills and progress? Clue 2. Maori oral history is mythology and should not be taken seriously. Surely it's long before time to stop these fairy tales and get rid of all racist Maori legislation. Return all Maori settlement funds back to the innocent victim taxpayer, abolish the Waitangi Tribunal, abolish the Maori electoral roll, ensure that Maori pay full normal tax and land rates, and make New Zealand great again. Make New Zealand one country with one people, one law, one vote, and one flag. Thank you for listening. WhangāreiTim.